Tonight, Adelaide Airport listed as a Tier 4 exposure site after a fly-in, fly-out miner becomes the latest local COVID case.
She's only been in our state for a short period of time, so we have got time to get on top of this, but unfortunately it does mean a quarantine period for a number of South Australians.
Also tonight, New South Wales ends its lockdown, bringing relief and concern. A woman who killed two brothers in a crash south of Adelaide jailed for 9 years. And the owner of the Whyalla Steelworks improves its financial position. Good evening, Jessica Harmson with ABC News. There have been 3 new cases of COVID-19 recorded in South Australia today. A fly-in, fly-out mine worker, another truck driver and a returning overseas traveller. Authorities are most concerned about the mine worker who flew into Adelaide Airport from Melbourne yesterday. Several exposure sites have been listed and health authorities are working to track down anyone who may have come into contact with the woman they say was highly infectious. Isabel Damon joins us now from the Hotel Quest on King William Street in Adelaide CBD. Isabel, what do we know about this new case?
Jess, the woman in her 30s flew into Adelaide yesterday afternoon and was tested on arrival at Adelaide Airport. She then caught a taxi to this hotel on King William Street, where she was due to begin 14 days of hotel quarantine before being allowed to fly out to one of the state's mines to start working. Now, because she entered the state as an essential worker, she wasn't required to serve that period in a Medi hotel. But now her test has come back positive from yesterday, and health authorities are trying to figure out who may have been affected.
So unfortunately, we have got a taxi driver who we've contacted this morning that will be required to quarantine. And then there's also the front of house person at the Quest Hotel that is going to need to quarantine. So very recent information my team is working through at the moment. We'll be looking at CCTV footage and making a determination about any other close contacts.
Now, the hotel's reception and the woman's flight JQ778 have both been listed as Tier 1 exposure sites. That means people must immediately get tested and isolate with their households. The Adelaide Airport has also been listed as a Tier 4 exposure site, which means people must monitor for symptoms. Now, Jess, it seems the Tasmanian cricket team has also been somewhat caught up in this case. They were staying at this hotel over the weekend. They've since returned to Tasmania and they say they will get extra tests but won't be required to quarantine.
And Isabel, there are more exposure sites in our state's regions from COVID-positive truck drivers.
Yeah, that's right. The co-driver of a COVID-positive truckie who came into the state from Victoria last Friday has now also tested positive. There had previously been exposure sites in Port Augusta and Yamba, but health authorities are now